Good evening, everyone. Our top story, a Global News exclusive. Accusations of a cover-up at a long-term care facility. What a hidden camera captured is shocking, and has Ontario's health minister reacting to our investigation. The News Hour begins right now. Low prices, lower supply.
I went to go buy the Bay blanket. Apparently it's all sold out.
Last-minute bargain hunters have less to choose from as the Christmas clock clicks down. Politicians buy the busload. All levels of government team up to launch the TTC's light rail project.
It's extraordinary. It's a revolution in transit.
But with St. Clair's problems still fresh, can this one stay on the rails? Mortgage makeover. The federal government hints at changes to the way you buy property.
If we have to, would limit the rate of amortization and require higher down payments.
Will it take the wind out of the GTA's real estate sales? And everyone has their own approach to overeating over the holidays.
Don't eat.
If you don't like it, don't eat it.
Go on a diet in the new year.
Our experts have a more realistic approach to moderation during the festive food season. But first, our Global News investigation. A London, Ontario woman is speaking out about care of the elderly. She is angry about the way a senior's home handled an incident involving her own mother. And she gave Global News some shocking home video, but be warned, it isn't easy to watch. This is the video that is causing shock and outrage. Watch as an elderly woman struggles to stand. She then falls hard to the ground. Watch as the attendant appears to be struggling to pick her up, then tosses her on the bed. A horrifying incident that could have gone unnoticed, but it was all captured by a hidden camera, igniting a firestorm.
They're vulnerable. They can't speak out for themselves.
Janet Brumell wanted top-rate care for her mother.
I had little red flags.
Minor incidents at first, but then came the bruises.
She fell one time, and when I asked the girl in charge, was she doing this all the time? Oh yeah, she does it all the time. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me?
Janet was told it's to be expected as a parent ages, but she wasn't expecting this.
My mother was in her bed, naked from the waist down, soaking wet, with her underwear rolled around her ankles. I had a fit.
Janet took matters into her own hands, buying a hidden camera.
I place it here like this between two photographs.
But when Janet took the camera home and watched it, she was horrified to see how her mother was being treated.
They told me my mother had fallen out of her wheelchair while the nurse went and got a face cloth.
The administrator wrote in an email that the attendant, quote, went to your mother's bathroom to get a washcloth, and in the 20 seconds she was in the bathroom, your mother fell.
Is not even close to the truth what happened.
She confronted the administrator, who was angry she had used a hidden camera, and ordered Janet to remove it. Janet's mother passed away 3 weeks later.
Something went terribly, terribly wrong. And how many other falls did my mother have that weren't quite the way it happened?
In search of answers, we took Janet's story straight to the Seniors Home Administration. Longworth Residence is owned by Sifton Properties, operating 4 homes in all, mostly in London, Ontario, 1 in Mississauga, well respected in the industry.
Leslie Roberts, nice to meet you.
General Manager Dale Pino agreed to talk to us.
Can you explain why the email says something different than the video camera?
I'd like to be able to clarify that, but I really can't comment on that.
Why not?
Again, there are privacy issues that are at play here.
Privacy issues, the same reasons the home asked Janet to remove the camera. But it's to protect the employee's privacy, not Janet's mom's.
We have employment obligations with our staff. We want to make sure that we don't have anything that would disrupt our atmosphere of trust.
That camera did their job. They picked off a bad worker.
We then took Janet's story and the hidden camera videotape to Ontario's Minister of Health.
The footage that I saw has put it on my radar screen. It wasn't an issue I was aware of before that.
Right now, there is no law or even provincial policy on cameras in long-term care facilities. It's up to both the family and the home to figure it out. But after hearing Janet's story and seeing that video, the health minister told us that will soon change. We'll have more on that part of the story in part 2 tomorrow, as well as important information for anyone with elderly parents or in a home or considering it as an option. In other news now, a major move forward tonight for Toronto's transit system as construction officially begins on the first of the Transit City light rail lines. When complete, this LRT line will run along Shepherd Avenue from the Don Mills subway station to Meadowvale Road. More tonight from our City Hall reporter, Jackson Prosco.
It took 3 years of planning just to get to this point, but construction is finally underway on Toronto's Great Light Rail experiment.
Today we start the renaissance of public transit in the city of Toronto.
A $1 billion, 14-kilometer-long rail line will soon slice down the middle of Shepherd Avenue East, extending reliable transit service to a corner of the city that needs it badly.
It's very exciting to have a project where everybody, or virtually everybody, wants it to happen.
This is just the beginning of a much larger program that will eventually see 120 kilometers of light rail stretch across Toronto, but the so-called Transit City Plan still has its doubters.
Our first preference was subway.
Instead, lanes of traffic will be replaced with rails. It's similar to the controversial St. Clair streetcar line. That project caused traffic headaches and has gone over budget.
St. Clair was supposed to learn from Spadina, and apparently the lessons were not learned from Spadina, so it leaves us a little apprehensive.
Money is still a problem too. While the city has funds to build the Shepherd LRT, there's currently no cash to operate it once construction is finished.
By 2013, we'll have sorted that out. We're having discussions with the province, and that'll come. I'm absolutely confident in it.
That hardly matters to commuters who just want to see reliable service extended east from the Don Mills subway station.
It's very good if we can replace this bus.
Construction will take just over 4 years and will come with the inevitable traffic detours and delays, an inconvenience that commuters hope will one day be worth it. Jackson Prosco, Global News.
And after years of delay, most of the St. Clair right-of-way streetcar line is finally up and running. The first streetcar rolled onto the tracks yesterday. The final stretch between Lansdowne and Keele will be finished sometime next year. The project began in 2005 and has been plagued by delays and cost overruns. Well, winter did not officially arrive until this morning, but the season got a head start this weekend in the eastern United States, and we'll have to deal with our own mess by week's end. Travel was next to impossible. Hundreds of flights were canceled, including many out of Toronto's Pearson Airport.
Go back home, relax, and get rebooked as soon as you can, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
That message was sent out again and again, throwing a wrench into many holiday plans. Some passengers gave up and pooled their resources to rent cars. But the highways, well, they were no better, as the worst storm in 6 years dumped up to 60 centimeters of snow.
I'm a little frustrated because I really wanted to be home for the holidays, and now it cuts my vacation short.
I can do without it because it's pretty on TV. It's pretty where you're seeing it, not where I'm coming from.
Washington, D.C. recorded its snowiest December ever, with almost a whole season's worth of snow falling this past weekend. But not everyone seemed to mind. That's Beau Obama, the White House dog, clearly loving the blast of winter. Well, the same system made its way into Nova Scotia, but it seems the worst of the snow stayed out over the ocean. Halifax did get enough to delay or cancel a few flights, but it was pretty much back to normal by this morning. So we were spared the big nor'easter here in the GTA, but there is new weather trouble heading away this week. Anthony.
That's right. We're already tracking another storm system, Leslie, coming onto the west coast. This, too, will have blizzard conditions, and the blizzard will spare us. It looks like the Midwest of the United States, up maybe towards far northwestern Ontario, will be seeing snow Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but it's definitely going to be an icy start to the day Christmas. We'll talk much more about that system coming up a little later in the show. First, let's talk about what's ahead of us right now. We have a couple of flurries, actually beautiful weather throughout the day today around the GTA, and we are still expecting maybe a little bit more light snow down towards the London area as the evening progresses. Temperature-wise, not bad at all. We're sitting at -2 currently, Niagara Falls, London, Toronto. It is much colder up towards Sudbury and North Bay, and those winds switching around to the northwest tonight means that cold air is going to be making a beeline towards Toronto, and it will be a much chillier start tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at that morning commute. Sunshine will return. We're expecting a bright sunny day for tomorrow and Wednesday, but bundle up out there, getting up only to -6 during the afternoon, Leslie, and we are definitely tracking that storm. Right now it looks like more ice than snow, so it could actually be a green Christmas here in Toronto. We'll have full details coming up.
See you in a few minutes. Thanks, Anthony. Well, there are just about 3 shopping days left until Christmas, so if you're just getting started, like many of us, pack some patience. Let's give you a live look now from the Global News Chopper. This is Sherway Gardens in Etobicoke. It's one of many malls with lots of sales, however, quickly vanishing product. Carrie Marzen joining us live with the highs and lows of last-minute shopping. Good evening, Carrie.
Good evening, Leslie. You know, it's hard to imagine that we're just days away, and the rush is definitely on. Sherway Gardens saw 15% more shoppers this past weekend than the same time last year, and the biggest motivator in all this, the deals.
It's beginning to look a lot like Boxing Day. With deals abound, prices are even better than when Judy Gilbert first hit the mall.
I bought 2 hoodies and they weren't on sale. And then when I went in the other day, they were on sale. So I asked and I brought them back and they gave me the sale price.
The crunch is on. This is what you'll see in the days leading up to Christmas: packed malls and slashed prices.
It's very good, actually. It's better than the 26.
They're giving stuff away, it seems like. Stuff I would expect to be $500-600, they're $150, $160.
Not everyone likes to be out shopping last minute, but this year procrastination pays.
Consumers waited and they got a bonus now this year because the prices are lower than they might have been.
But when it comes to getting what you want,
I went to go buy the babe blanket and it's all sold out.
it's the early bird who gets the worm.
If you went out early, you would find what you're looking for and your selection and size, whatever you needed. If you're coming out now and you're looking for one of the popular gifts, most likely you might not find it.
So what if you bought something that is now a better deal? Some stores will honor it.
As long as it's within 21 days and you have your receipt and it's unworn, we will do a price adjustment.
Judy Gilbert got her refund, which makes her a happy shopper.
I have to buy for a lot of girls and a lot of, clothes and things like that, so the prices are good for me. It works out well.
Retail analyst John Winter said, "We haven't seen prices like this before Christmas since the early 1990s. So if we think prices like this are great now, what about Boxing Day? Well, officials say that come Boxing Day, we can see a 50% cut off the current sale price we're seeing now." So you think now's busy, Leslie?
It is a tradition to shop on Boxing Day. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Carrie. Carrie Marsden live at Sherway Gardens. We like that sign. All right, still ahead tonight, a police officer in some hot water for stopping a snowball fight. Coming up later, we will show you the fallout. This is the amateur video of the cop actually drawing his gun. Well, Toronto police want you to take a good look at the man in our next story. 34-year-old Kandeepan Pupaala-Singham is wanted in connection with a sexual assault investigation that happened on Saturday. A 12-year-old girl was assaulted in the hallway of an apartment building. It happened in the Ellesmere and Morningside area. If you see him, call police. Meantime, a 17-year-old Oakville boy remains in hospital tonight after a car crash split his vehicle in half. Alton police say the teen was driving his Honda eastbound on Dundas near the 9th line when it crossed sideways into the westbound lanes, where it collided with a westbound Lexus SUV. The young man was airlifted to hospital with serious injuries. A 31-year-old mom and her 2 young sons were in the Lexus. They were also sent to hospital. Their injuries not life-threatening. Police are still investigating. It was a year ago that fire destroyed the Durham Humane Society in Oshawa, leaving more than 150 animals dead. Surviving dogs have been living with foster families as the plan continues to build a new home. Tonight, the fundraising drive for that new home is on. Catherine McDonald has the latest.
When I brought him in, he came from a horrible place.
Every rescued animal like Vernon at the Durham Humane Society has a story.
Open wounds all over his face. No, he's beautiful.
But few stories are as inspiring as the shelters itself. It was 1 year ago that fire destroyed the Society's home in South Oshawa. 140 cats, 3 dogs, and a dozen small animals perished in the blaze.
Now they're dead, and we're devastated.
Things are much better now, but not perfect. The shelter is operating out of a temporary facility on Taunton Road and only big enough to house cats. Neglected dogs are still living with foster families throughout the region.
How many foster homes do you have? We have about 15.
So it's not ideal, I guess, to have
No, they're all, obviously we're monitoring them and we know where they are.
But by next year at this time, the animals should all be together again. The deadly fire of 2008, a mere memory.
If everything goes as planned, construction on the new shelter will begin in April. It will be located in South Whitby and will be 6,100 square feet, close to triple the size of the old shelter. The cost to build, about $2 million.
The Society is actively fundraising and is selling bricks for a wall that will recognize donors.
It's just a matter of, getting the money together to build it, which in this economy has been kind of difficult, especially in this region with GM and everything like that. So many people have lost their jobs here.
At the end of our visit, Vernon finds a new home.
Look at you. You are just gorgeous. You're going to come home with me?
Hopefully so too will the Durham shelter by Christmas 2010. Catherine McDonald, Global News.
And coming up later, dozens of dogs rescued in Quebec have been brought to the GTA. Why they were shipped here and where they're being put up for adoption later on the News Hour. Well, the joy of the holiday season is tinged with anger this year for 150 employees at a Mississauga manufacturing plant. Workers at M&I Air Systems demonstrated outside the facility in the Derry Road and 401 area today. The company suddenly shut its doors last week, leaving its employees out of work.
We're actually trying to draw some attention to the fact that 150 workers here are owed 3 weeks in wages. They're owed severance pay. They're owed Christmas vacation pay. The company has asked them to put product out and they would get paid, and the reality is that he's taken off.
Some of the employees had up to 20 years of service with the company. M&I manufactured heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Well, is our housing market too hot to handle? The GTA is again in the midst of a boom. The average price of a home sold in the region during the first 2 weeks of December was about $423,000. And that's an increase of 17% over last year. As Global's Mark McAllister reports, the market is so hot, Ottawa may be preparing to cool things down.
So it's great, it's all new pump lights.
In this economy, real estate agent Brian Ross is often quick to point out that property sales are still booming.
The stock market is going up and down like a toilet seat, and real estate's holding its own and it's increasing, so it's a great investment.
Record low interest rates certainly help, giving people the chance to buy big and borrow more. That's why the federal government is offering a warning of possible changes in the new year.
I share the concern that we have to watch the level of household debt. Because if we have to, we'll do what we did last year and limit the rate of amortization further than we already did and require higher down payments.
That means increasing down payments from 5% and reducing amortization from 35 years. Here's why. New home and condo sales for the month of November were actually up more than 150% in the GTA compared to 2008 and are still stronger than the 3 previous years as well.
While those in the market to buy a home have been quick to take advantage of low interest rates, analysts suggest that there's no mortgage meltdown in sight and government need not overreact.
Some say slowing the housing market to a level that doesn't support economic recovery could be dangerous.
We have to remember, maybe small change is fine, but at the same time we have to make sure that we are not killing a fly using a hammer.
At the rate homes are being built and sold in the current climate, others wonder if the move may be coming too early.
A little disappointing to hear that the finance minister wants to throw a wet blanket on things. Probably premature, probably a bit of overkill.
Those buying homes at this rate would likely agree. Just ask the agents helping sell them.
You know, 5 years from now, they're all going to look like geniuses.
Mark McAllister, Global News.
And we are just learning the Ontario government has just stepped in to prevent any more damage to a heritage home near Casa Loma we told you about last week. Neighbors and some city councillors were furious when the current property owner removed numerous windows and architectural elements from the historic home at 7 Austin Terrace. Well, a short time ago, Culture Minister Aileen Carroll issued a stop order to prevent any more demolition. The home dates back to 1922 and was built by notable architect John Lyle, who also designed Union Station. Welcome back. Time to talk turkey, literally this time. You have 4 days now to stew about preparing the bird for your Christmas feast. So which is best for you? Fresh? Frozen? Should you brine it? Armina Reed checks out all your options tonight.
Any chef will tell you the key to a delicious turkey is preparation in advance and timing it just right. But there's a hot new trend. It's called brining. It adds flavor by sealing in moisture.
So I have 4 liters of water in here. I'm adding a cup of salt, my cup of sugar. I've got about 10 cloves of garlic going in, and then some herbs.
Submerge your turkey in the brine in a bag or a pot and refrigerate for up to 24 hours.
When you're ready to cook the bird, you pull it out, dry it off, and basically you roast it as you would normally.
The result is a juicier, plumper bird. Another trend, smoked turkey.
Tastes amazing. So you get a really true smoked flavor. It's very, very moist because it's so slowly cooked.
Fresh or frozen?
Fresh, always fresh.
If you do decide to go the frozen route to save money, better head to the grocery store tonight. The best method of defrosting is with cold water because it can take 4 to 5 days to thaw in the fridge. The general rule is 5 hours per pound to thaw in the refrigerator versus 30 minutes a pound in cold water. But make sure to change the water every half hour to ensure safety. Every year, the Fairmont Royal York cooks turkeys for hundreds of households across the GTA. Despite the passing trends, Chef David Garcelon prefers the traditional blend with lots of butter, and he always cooks them uncovered.
Every 30 minutes or so while the turkey's cooking, it's just baste it with the juices.
Also, prepare the stuffing separately.
If you stuff the turkey you know, it takes longer to cook, and you've got more chance of it being dry because that's the center of the stuffing needs to get to 160 degrees as well.
There's a bunch of new devices that will help you save time in the kitchen. This compact digital thermometer allows you to track the progress of your bird without having to open that oven door time and time again. Even easier, this golf tee looking apparatus, $3.50, actually pops up when your turkey has reached the desired temperature.
And if all that seems like too much work, order in from the Fairmont Royal York. They'll deliver straight to your door via limo. Mina Ree, Global News.
Now, if you want to know how to brine your Christmas turkey and you missed that, we have it all online for you. Go to our website, globaltoronto.com. From the healthy stuff to the stuff we all love over the holidays, eggnog and shortbread. Thank goodness it only comes just once a year. Our health specialist, Peter Spoliti, is here now with ways to avoid packing on those holiday pounds. I always go in 2 or 3 pounds below what my ideal weight to have some
to balance
leeway.
things
Yeah.
out. Well, after seeing that turkey, I don't know. My God, that looked amazing.
Yeah.
Now, it's estimated that people can gain between a half a pound to 10 pounds over the holiday period. Here are some tips to avoid that post-holiday bulge.
'Tis the season of the buffet and a little taste of everything, which unfortunately can stay with you.
Over the holidays, do you have any strategies or?
Don't eat.
Overeating as I drink my peppermint mocha, you mean? No, I figure you might as well just indulge.
You just have to kind of take it easy, I think, and just maybe have one of something, and if you don't like it, don't eat it.
The problem is we like pretty much all of it.
We do know that there are peptides that are released from the stomach after we've had a meal, and if we eat too quickly, our brain doesn't get a chance to register those peptides, so we can eat a lot more in a smaller period of time.
Then there are the bites that pack a punch.
Skipping the cream sauces, not, cutting down on the cheese or the amount of hors d'oeuvres that you're having.
And that goes for what you're drinking too.
Things like eggnog, which 1 cup can provide around 350 extra calories. The problem with getting any calories in a liquid form is that they're not really good at making us feel full.
Nuts are generally good for you, but not handful after handful. Here's one way to trick your brain.
Just something as simple as using a smaller plate can actually mean eating 20 to 50% less at a meal. Our perception is very important when we're at a buffet. How you set your plate up by having half of it from vegetables instead of half of it from carbs or a big piece of meat can actually save you calories, and you'll feel just as full 2 hours later.
Some nutrition experts have also said if the food is right in front of us, right in the middle of the table, we're more likely to eat it. So it might be a good idea to set up a buffet line somewhere else, maybe in the kitchen, rather than putting all of those serving bowls on the table in the dining room. Now, in other health news, one group of researchers says blood glucose test strips are being overused and they're not giving patients all that much benefit. People with diabetes use the strips to monitor their blood sugar, but almost half of those prescribed the test strips were at low risk for hypoglycemia.
The evidence suggests that in non-insulin using type 2 diabetes patients, there really isn't a lot of support for routine monitoring in patients that may be fairly well controlled.
At $100 million, the strips are the third largest cost to the Ontario Public Drug Program. The report says policy changes could save the province $26 million in 1 year. Researchers say the strips should be used by those who are on insulin or for those whose diabetes is not well controlled. An early birthday wish comes true for 2 young sisters from Bangladesh. The girls were released from hospital in Melbourne, Australia, 5 weeks after they were surgically separated. Trishna and Krishna had been joined at the top of their heads before the operation. The sisters were just a month old when they were first spotted in an orphanage. A charity group brought the girls to Australia for surgery. They will turn 3 years old tomorrow. So happy birthday to them.
Life expectancy should be okay now, I guess?
You would expect they may have complications,
Right.
lifelong. They'll have to be monitored.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's been successful thus far is amazing because many of these surgeries are not successful.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bea.
You're welcome.
Well, as we near the end of 2009, we want to know what you think was the biggest news story of the year in the GTA. Was it the summer tornado, the Toronto garbage strike, or maybe H1N1? Vote online right now at globaltoronto.com. We'll announce your pick on the NewsHour on December 31st. Well, 29 abandoned and surrendered dogs from Quebec are alive tonight thanks to the Toronto and Hamilton SPCA. They were sent here as their only hope of survival because Quebec shelters and adoption centers are so overloaded. The story now from David Shum.
29 dogs and 3 cats, all from the Montreal area, all homeless.
There's 3 puppies actually that were from James Bay area that have been brought in by plane to Montreal and then onto here. And there's about 4 of them that are surrenders, home surrenders. The people didn't want them anymore. And the others are strays.
With nowhere to go, these animals are being transported to a Hamilton SPCA. Toronto is the transfer point.
We've got cages ready that will accommodate the animals there, and then we'll set up them for adoption there.
Helen Lacroix runs a Montreal shelter, which she says is very different from those in Ontario.
There's less of an overpopulation. They're a little bit more responsible as far as spaying and neutering.
James McLean of the Toronto Animal Services says pet owners from the Toronto and surrounding areas are eager to take them in.
People in Toronto are generally pretty responsible pet owners. We've noticed a decrease in the stray dogs, and people are actively looking for dogs.
For now, these furry creatures will spend another couple of hours on the road.
I hope to get adopted. I know that they will get the care needed before they go up for adoption, spayed and neutered automatically.
And find a loving home just in time for the holidays. David Shem, Global News.
Couple of news of note from overseas tonight. A confession in the case of a young boy stuck with dozens of sewing needles. The former stepfather of the 2-year-old boy now admits he inserted about 30 needles into the boy as revenge against his former wife. 30-year-old Roberto Carlos says he got the boy drunk on wine before inserting the needles up to 3 times a month. Doctors have removed some of the needles and more operations are planned. 5 men have been arrested in Poland suspected of stealing the infamous sign from the gates of the Auschwitz death camp. The sign, which reads, "Work sets you free," was stolen last week. It was found in 3 pieces in one suspect's property. Israeli archaeologists have found the remains of a home in Nazareth dating back to the time of Jesus. The find could shed new light on what the town was like during the period of the New Testament. Nazareth holds a cherished place in Christianity. It is the town where Christian tradition says Jesus grew up. Well, the weekend blizzard in the U.S. Northeast created quite a bit of chaos, as we showed you earlier on in the newscast, but it also made for perfect snowball weather. However, one fight quickly got out of hand when a gun was pulled. Natalie Morales explains what happens.
"Don't bring a gun to a snowball fight," was the chant from hundreds of young adults at a snowball fight gone terribly wrong.
Throw another snowball. Throw another snowball.
After snowballs slammed this red Hummer, the man inside got out and, as you can see, drew a gun.
At first it was unclear that he was affiliated with law enforcement at all. So people were just kind of confused and said, "He's got a gun," and people started kind of freaking out.
Tensions flared in the freezing temperatures as yet another snowball pelted the man, an off-duty detective, in the face.
Get back up on the curb. Get on the curb.
Uniformed officers soon arrived on the scene.
A uniformed police officer came onto the scene, and he also had his gun drawn because he had gotten reports that there was a man there with, an armed man, and he didn't realize that it was a plainclothes detective.
Once police realized it was one of their own with the gun, they put their own guns away, and while no shots were fired, strong words were exchanged between the detective and the crowd. The incident all captured on tape by Reason TV, which was on the scene because there'd been a viral call to action on the internet for a good old-fashioned snowball fight. A snowball fight that is now drawing a crowd on the internet because it clearly got out of hand.
Citizen journalism.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable storm as well. That,
yeah. If you were to tweet about the storm heading our way, what would you say?
I would say chant of ice. Christmas Day.
Not a lot of snow.
Not a lot of snow. That's definite. We're going to be seeing some warm air coming in here, but there's also going to be some cold air stuck near the surface, and that's why we are watching for the possibility of ice Christmas Day. Still about 4 days away, but maybe plan accordingly. Travel plans Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, because Christmas Day looks like trouble. Let's look up north of town, and yes, the snow continues to fall. This from Port Credit. Just some light flurries, actually. Very pleasant out there. We saw some snow also in Toronto. Although these people maybe don't look like they're having that good a time. Cold weather and yeah, ducks still out, unfrozen water. Let's go to a couple of our Sky Tracker pictures now. This ice fog, very cold conditions. Sudbury early this morning. Judith, by the way, we are officially in winter now. The December solstice just after noon this afternoon. You know what that means? The days are getting longer. That's what I like to look at the positive side of things. Lois, Round Lake. Yeah, she said it just froze over a couple of days ago, but you can see some of the maybe unfrozen sections in the back reflecting some of that sunlight from this evening's sunset. Tomorrow, yes, we're going to get a sunrise and a sunset. Beautiful sunshine throughout the day. It'll be cold though, -6 for an afternoon high. Northwesterly winds at around 15, creating a wind chill probably closer to -10. So you're going to need that extra layer if you have to be outside for a lengthy period of time on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. Let's talk about the Christmas storm because that's what everybody's been mentioning over the last couple of days. Pushing ashore now towards Vancouver. By Wednesday, we're expecting it to dive down to the south. There's Colorado. There's Utah, New Mexico, Arizona. So it's going to be starting around here with some rain, snow in the mountains, big blizzard expected through the Midwestern states, back up towards far northwestern Ontario. Now the problems arise here across the south. Warm air coming in. That's going to mean a period of freezing rain, likely early Christmas morning, and then changing over to rain. We could get some snow, ice pellets mixed in as well. Definitely some trouble on the roadways as we move through Friday. What about a white Christmas? Well, the vast majority of the country, yeah, going to be seeing a white Christmas. The exception, Toronto, and anywhere south of there, Halifax, and Vancouver. So yeah, we're going to be probably green, looks like Friday morning. Temperature wise, still remaining very cold. Regina, Winnipeg, -13, -15, -3 currently in Toronto, -10 up towards Ottawa. And we are watching snow flurries across southwestern Ontario. Also, backing of the clouds. We could get some snow late on Tuesday over towards the Ottawa Valley, Ottawa area, seeing that, but no real accumulation anywhere as we move through the next couple of days. High pressure staying put across the north, just north of Thunder Bay, and that's going to keep enough cold air in here that we're expecting a icy mix early Christmas morning. So here's your forecast then for the night tonight. -21 Sudbury, -22 in North Bay, -12 in Toronto. Still a couple of flurries early tomorrow towards Wyerton. -6 in Toronto, and this beautiful picture from Audrey in Belleville. The ducks out enjoying the unfrozen water. -6 Wednesday, 0 Christmas Eve day, 5 ice changing to rain on Christmas. Saturday, Boxing Day, busy travel day as well, 2 and snow flurries, and then cooling off by early next week. Now earlier today, I was out at Toronto East General Hospital. Yes, OPP Commissioner Julian Fantino putting on the Santa hat along with the Toronto Community News. We were donating these teddy bears to all the babies, the kids that are going to be spending the holidays in the hospital. Very fun time early this morning, and always nice to bring a cheer to those kids. And one more picture, just wanted to show you. There was the group, the children's ward. We had a blast early this morning, and they loved those teddy bears. Leslie?
Doing good work. Thanks, Anthony. Okay, so you've done your Christmas shopping. Now what? You still have to wrap those gifts, right? But if you're all thumbs, you may need some help. In tonight's Consumer SOS, Laura Zilke has some holiday hints on the do's and don'ts of wrapping.
In the opinion of some, how a gift looks is also part of the gift itself.
Yes, it is. And that's why we are being so fussy about how they wrap.
Gabriella Delworth measures each package she wraps individually. She stretches the wrapping paper across the gift and makes sure it reaches more than halfway on each end.
This will be enough. Because once you bring it up, if you have too much paper, either you have to cut it and it won't look perfect, or you have to fold it.
Wrapping and packaging in general makes the holiday season not a very green one.
So the 2-week period after Christmas is our highest volume of the year. We see increase in garbage, we see increase in recycling, and obviously an increase in organics from the amount of food that people consume.
The Ministry of the Environment claims that in the next few days, Ontarians will use enough gift wrap to cover over 3,000 football fields. And only the paper coin can be recycled.
So why not make the wrapping a very functional part of the gift after all? What's better than getting 2 gifts in one?
These are manufactured in Ontario out of natural cotton materials.
The bag doubles as a gift sack and can be used year after year. Other gift bags can later be used for groceries. And then there's the gift wrap that's made with recycled paper.
And this paper itself can be recycled, And the dyes that are used in this paper are non-toxic soy-based dyes.
Also safe for recycling, whereas many things aren't. In the city of Toronto, you cannot put bows, foil wrapping paper, tinsel, clear plastic food packaging, or plastic toys in the blue bin. So those things are all wasted, leaving behind a massive paper trail. Laura Zilke, Global News.
And as the Christmas shopping rush continues, some encouraging financial news tonight. Retail sales across the country rose by 0.8% in the month of October for a total of $35 billion. This was the 8th monthly gain in the past 10 months. Welcome back. Well, looks like Tiger Woods is turning tail or running away or sailing away at least. Reports are swirling that the beleaguered golfer has set sail on his yacht. The vessel, appropriately named Privacy, was spotted leaving a marina in Florida this weekend. Now, no one has actually confirmed Woods is on that, but it's rumored he and several friends are headed to the Bahamas for a few days of R&R. Hollywood is mourning the death of actress Brittany Murphy tonight. The 32-year-old died of apparent cardiac arrest at her Los Angeles home Sunday morning. As Mark Barger reports, Murphy's age and the circumstances surrounding her death are raising many questions.
Finding out that you've been sweet-talked by a total jerk loser who skips out on a wife that he doesn't even tell you about.
Authorities aren't sure yet what caused the death of actress Brittany Murphy, but they do say there's no evidence of foul play. Los Angeles police investigators went through Murphy's Hollywood home on Sunday, and a spokesperson says there's no sign of suspicious activity. The LA coroner's office is conducting an autopsy on Murphy today to try to figure out what killed the actress, but those results are not expected for at least 6 to 8 weeks. The early indication, according to the city's assistant chief coroner, is that Murphy's death was from natural causes.
Did a preliminary exam of the body, and there was no trauma found or observed on her body.
But toxicology tests, along with Murphy's medical history from her personal physician, could help authorities in making a final determination.
The family had reported that she had not been feeling well the last few days and that she had flu-like symptoms.
But there's no indication so far that that illness or prescription medications taken from Murphy's home played any role in the actress's death. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Welcome back. When it comes to snow, it seems there's no making us happy. We complain about it, but when it's not here, we miss it. Today, of course, is the first official day of winter, and the GTA remains relatively snow-free, but that's not stopping our Rob Leth from enjoying his own winter wonderland.
The East Coast is digging out. And Ontario's snow belt has already been belted with snow. But here in the GTA, on the first official day of winter, snowplows were shoveling leaves. With kids on their school break, places like Riverdale Park are usually a winter wonderland at this time of year.
There's family, there's dogs, there's lots of kids, snowboards, you name it.
And today?
Well, as you can see, it's pretty lame.
There are trace amounts of snow around the city, so theoretically you could build a snowman. Unfortunately, you can only build him this big. So what's a kid to do?
I don't know, you don't see them around. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Sitting home playing video games, I guess. Yeah, it's too bad.
Meanwhile, your dog is eating our snowman. Kids looking for copious amounts of snow have to get pretty creative.
Ah, it fell.
We took the dog out for a walk, and from the stairs he spotted the pile from the Zamboni, and that was it. So we'll stand here in the cold and let him enjoy the snow for a while.
But when it comes to making snow angels, so how's that working out for you?
Not very well.
Fortunately, there is a winter-like oasis in the city with snow business in full swing at Centennial Park.
We've got lots of the white stuff here. We've got about 30 centimeters of man-made snow, and people can come out and enjoy skiing or snowboarding.
But kids are still hoping the rest of the city will be covered soon.
This year compared to last year, it's really bad because we enjoy like making snow forts and having all the snowball fights and stuff.
Who wins?
Me.
No, me.
No, it's me.
And I don't know, guys, judging by that story we saw earlier in the newscast, I don't know if a snowball fight is such a great idea. But if you like the white stuff, not only is there a lot of snow here at Centennial Park, there's also a lot of light. So anyone wanting to come down and ski or snowboard can do so until 9 p.m. And if you can't make it to Centennial, there's also Earl Bales Park on Bathurst. So to anyone who says that there's no snow in the city, there's actually 2 places with snow. And if I heard right, Scrooge Farnell saying that it's going to be a green Christmas. So if you want to enjoy the white stuff, make sure you come on down, guys.
Very nice, Rob Leth. Stay away from the toboggan hill, though. Stay on the ski hill. Thank you, sir. Scrooge Farnell? Some people are
I've tried that
pleasing.
before. That's tough to talk, ski, and then time it so you end perfectly.
I was convinced, given that it was Rob Leth, that it wasn't really going to be him.
Yeah.
You know, he used to be standing down on the hill and we were going to bust him, but no, it was really him. So props.
Scrooge Farnell, huh?
Well.
Yeah. Well, in the city itself, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing snow ahead of Christmas, but there's a lot of it up north of town as well. Let's first look at tomorrow's forecast. It's going to be cold enough to make more artificial snow, -6 degrees, lots of sun Tuesday, Wednesday. If you're traveling for Christmas, try and get it done before the actual day of, because I think there's going to be some ice as we wake up Christmas morning that could cause some problems.
So if you're going to the in-laws, you can say it's bad roads.
Sorry, can't get out there. I'll see you tomorrow.
You didn't hear it from us, folks. Let's throw it over to Rosie Etter for what's ahead on ET Canada. Hey, Rosie.